realistically, like,
So
you can overpower a gorilla. You can.
If everybody goes in, you got to go in with the mindset, and there's got to be the first 10 to 15 have to understand this is a kamikaze suicide mission.
You guys are gonna die.
Yeah, like if you got the first 10 or 15 that are willing to accept what's about to happen to them, and then the next 30 or 40 have to see that happen and still be willing to go.
Right.
So if you have everybody with going in with the mindset that this is what's going to happen and we have to just keep going,
right?
You're good. You will win. You will beat the gorilla.
Yeah.
But in a realistic situation, number 2 is going to see number 1 and be like, I'm out. Like, there's nobody that's going to see somebody get torn apart by a gorilla and be like, yeah, I got it. I can be a different maker here.
I'm up next.
Like one of the teachers.
What's a podcast?
I forgot.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how many times I was asked, how's your little podcast doing? It feels a little insulting when somebody asks like that too. Like, I don't know.
How's your little, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. How's your little ex-wife doing? Bastard. Hey guys, welcome to Whoever Knows Podcast. I'm Patty.
I forgot to write my topics on the board, so now I really don't know what they are.
We have not updated the board. We're totally winging it. We had a little hiatus, and we're back. So hopefully you missed us.
Insert all the back references. Guess who's back?
Back again.
The Brew Bros are back in town.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I did go out of town. So yes, this is all.
How was that? Were you one with nature?
I was one with nature. We almost died a few times. We had a friend on the trip that was a major liability. Shout out to Red.
Is it the one with the socks and the sandals in the water?
He actually saved the other one's life a few times.
Wow.
And didn't let him forget it. Not once.
Nature Jesus.
Yeah. It is a little psychotic to wear socks in water. I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Unless you got an infection or something, even then. Just let it purify.
I feel like you're just trying to hide your toes at that point. Like, you're just very self-conscious about your toes.
Yeah, maybe he's got some real tough active, 10 active.
He didn't cut his toenails in a couple months. He was like, shit.
I don't do that. I mean,
guy's this big wart on my foot.
That may be true. Because it was a guy's trip. And it's a group of guys that, if anything, is like somewhat out there to be made fun of. You're getting made fun of. So.
Maybe he don't want anybody with a foot fetish to attack him.
Maybe. I'll tell you what, it was hot as shit though. My one takeaway from Arizona was no.
Only during the day.
Yeah, it was beautiful at night.
Yeah.
And in the morning. Yeah. Waking up, dude, drinking a cup of coffee on fake grass around a fire.
Listen, driving around Arizona when we went, that was like my main takeaway. I was like, I could live here.
Beautiful.
For the sole reason of there being no grass to worry about ever. Yeah. It is funny though, like most of the people just have rock, at least where we were. Like it's just rocks and gravel. But then there's the one house that has turf, and you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
There are also cactuses everywhere.
Cacti?
No, you know what? When I was
Cactuses?
there, I was told you can also say cactuses. And I said, that is not what I was taught as a child.
True.
So, but yeah, they're all over the place and prickly.
Did you eat a cactus?
No. Is that a thing? Can you eat
Don't koalas eat cactus?
I don't know.
Koalas live in desert areas?
I don't know. Somebody eats
Are
a
you
cactus.
just making shit up right now? What's going on?
Yeah, 2 truths and a lie. Can you call cactuses cacti? Or can you call cactus plural cactuses? Do koalas eat cactuses?
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, it was cool. Like we were just driving through the most beautiful hillside, I guess. I don't know, a ton of like mountain range-ish stuff, rocks everywhere. And like at one point the cars were slowing down and I'm like, why are we going slow? And then I get up to the distraction, and it's just a wild donkey just roaming down the street.
Look at that ass.
I was like, hell yeah. It was crazy.
Thought it was going to be like Makeout Cove or something. Everybody slowing down to see the view.
No.
A donkey, huh?
Yeah. It was beautiful though. Great time. Very dry. Like if I coughed, I probably was like baby powder was coming out of me or something. It's weird.
Yeah. It's very similar to Vegas. Like it's exactly like Vegas.
Yeah. We made the mistake of going on a hike when it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
That was not good. Nobody else was there either. That should have been a sign. We're the only people on the trail.
Is that where someone almost died?
Well, they smartened up and just turned around, which was good. That one wasn't as bad. No, someone almost died in kayaks a few times. We flipped a few times. And the water was very cold when he flipped the first time. And I think that kind of shocked him and he panicked. Full on went into panic mode. You can kind of see in the video that I put out where it's like, I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh, he fell in the water. Like, haha. Oh, shit. He's not doing well. So, yeah.
That was always an internal fear, like especially the single ones where you're strapped in pretty tight in there and your legs are all the way over here and you flip upside down and you'd have to hurry up and flip back over, try to escape out.
Yeah.
No thanks. I do want to go like whitewater rafting. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be really fun.
I've done that. We did it in Tennessee and we kind of had the same scenario. It was a pretty tame thing, but there was one stretch at the end where you go down like a little 4-foot drop. And we went through fine, but if the front of your boat tips too far, everybody's gone. And the one behind us, that's what happened. They tipped, everybody flew out, and it was the same situation where the guide was panicking. It was like, everybody stick your sticks out so they can grab it. I'm like, okay. So we saved a couple people.
Not a good look if the guide is panicking.
Yeah. like we were laughing like, ha, they fell out. And the guide's like, everybody stick your sticks out. Try to grab somebody. Like, okay, shit.
Do they tell you that beforehand?
What?
That if you fall, you just stick your paddle out?
No,
if not, it seems like a bad
really.
time to say like, all right, hey, now put your paddle.
We did not train for this. Here's what we're going to do.
I think they're kind of reacting to the people as they fall out. Like if somebody falls out and it was fast moving water, but if you could swim and just like paid attention for a second,
right,
you'd be okay. Like you would have to grab onto a raft or onto somebody else. But like these people fall out. Some of them are a little older, so they're like freaking out, right? So then I think that makes the guides panic because they can't control these people.
Yeah.
So it's not like the guides are panicking because they don't know what to do. It's like you can't control what these people are doing.
Yeah.
And if they miss you, then they're going for a ride.
We didn't even have a guide.
Yeah.
We were just on our own, which was wild.
That's cool. You just had to return it back at a certain time or something like that?
Yeah, it was just like when you go tubing out here. Like you hopped in your kayak and just off you went, and then you look for the orange flag eventually and make sure you go left every time the river splits. Otherwise, you're going to get lost.
Very underrated. Like any kind, not just necessarily kayaking, but just any trails or anything. If they have bad signage, that's just a recipe for disaster. We did that on a little trail with me and my buddies, and you start following all these little flags in these directions, and then all of a sudden they had a bad storm, so there's nothing there, and you're just like, I guess we go this way. And then 30 minutes into it, we're like, this doesn't feel right. So we pull up our maps, and we were basically going on a river up to Arkansas, so just not even close. Then we had to go back upstream the other way, which is
that's hard.
It's a workout.
Yeah,
going upstream,
a little difficult.
No bueno.
I had to do that when somebody fell out because there was like two spots where they weren't like rapids, but it was shallow and the water moved fast. And somebody fell out in that area and we just couldn't get to them. And I'm like, bro, you're just gonna have to like walk along the bank, and I'm gonna come back to you as far as I can. Yeah. But trying to go upstream I felt like a little child.
This might not shock you at all. I don't like tubing like that. It
doesn't shock me.
Good Lord, is it boring? Like the first couple minutes, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, all right, so we went to one in Austin. It was kind of fun because like it was man-made. So like every little bit, they had a little dip. Yeah, like a little slide almost. Like all the tubes would just get guided down this little slide, and you would pick up some speed and go. So it was kind of fun. But like when we used to go to whatever the place is in like Franklinton,
Wayne's World.
Yeah. Oh my God, I hate it. I hate it so much. Kayaking, I can get behind because it's an active thing.
Right.
I like that. Tubing, I'm just like, I need to do something. Like this is not fun for me at all. Also, I don't like snakes, and I would see snakes go across the water sometimes. So I'm constantly on edge about that. I'm like, this is not for me. And anytime it was like, hey, do you guys want to do the 2 or 4 hour one? And somebody says 4, I'm like, I'm going home. Like I'm not doing this for 4 hours.
Kayaking's fun until you get like your partner, and then that partner halfway through gets obliterated, and then you got this giant thing that you're trying to paddle by yourself with. You're basically your guy KIA. You know,
We don't do dual kayaks anywhere we go. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a single thing.
Dolo.
You better handle your own, otherwise you're in trouble, buddy. I will come try and save you, clearly, but
I like doing water activities like that. It's just the tubing thing. It's just not enough.
The heat will get you too, man.
That's the other
on you.
thing. Like after an hour of just baking in the sun,
yeah,
it's like, oh my.
I'm surprised more people don't die tubing because like there was one. It's an adventure at like Wayne's World and stuff. Because first of all, there's random rocks and things sticking up in the water that you can't see.
I don't know if you were with us one time. We went with somebody and their tube popped within like the first 15 minutes. And they were just kind of fucked like the rest of the way.
Yeah, you're
they
swimming.
had luckily we had an ice chest that could float and they had to just kind of take over the ice chest tube.
Telling you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, just like with the amount of alcohol involved, you would just assume people drown yearly.
Dude, there's been times where the river gets high enough and there's a current. I used to go tubing all the time. And I, for whatever reason, this day decided to drink bourbon on the river and not beer.
Nice.
But somebody threw me a beer and I didn't catch it. So then I jumped in the water after it. And before I knew it, I was nowhere near anyone. And I was like,
guys,
uh-oh.
guys.
Yeah.
My girlfriend at the time was very angry at me.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're with like a good group where like everybody kind of holds on and ties together and stuff, and you can stay in the middle, it can be fine. But when you got a constant, like Wayne's World was terrible about the edges. Like the trees were, because it's natural. It's not a man-made one. That was the other good thing about Austin. There wasn't any trees with sharp branches on the edges that could pop your tube and everything.
Dude, it's
Wayne's
the
World
ones
was
under the water that you don't see, and the river's pulling you.
Yeah,
and then you just hit.
You don't see it until like 3 seconds before, and it's like, oh, here we go.
I'm not even talking. I'm talking about like in some of those areas of that river where it's dark and you can't see under anyway, and you just slam into a random branch. It just, hits you just right.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, some of them are like this too, where they're just like sticking out, and that's the ones that catch your tube, and then you're screwed for the rest of the
fun. I swear. Yeah, well, good times.
Go the ones in Lafayette where put the gators in there. That's happened a couple times too.
Yeah,
we had a friend fell out after we had saw a gator swim across the water, and just sheer panic from everybody. We got her, but yeah. Not very fun when you got some gators floating around. Snakes are a little different. I can do snakes.
Yeah, snakes normally try to stay away from you. Yeah. Normally,
the little walking snakes that just walk on water.
We did. When we went to the one in Austin, there's like houses all along the way, and people just come and jump in at any point in time. And we're going, and we're all kind of just talking, hanging out, and not paying attention. And all of a sudden, like coming down the middle, and there's a bunch of groups around us. Like from underwater, there's just bubbles, like trails of bubbles, and all of us start looking like, what the fuck is that? And nobody knows because it was a little too dark, you couldn't see, and all of a sudden it was just like a snorkeler popped up. I was like, you cannot do that around here. But I was kind of scared for a second there. I was like, what on earth? I was like, in this man-made creek, what the hell is in here?
Never know.
Good
snorkeling. That's snorkeling in a creek.
I guess it's not necessarily
it's a country song, right?
I think so.
Is it me go snorkeling in the creek?
I guess it's not really snorkeling. Like if you got a whole like air pack on and under the ground. I don't know what the scuba diving. I guess at that point,
you're just diving. Got air and everything.
Probably searching for shit people dropped.
Yeah,
good for them.
Probably a lot of iPhones.
Yeah. Sunglasses. You know how many pairs of sunglasses get lost in these rivers? Yeah. I lost my sunglasses within 5 minutes. It sucked.
Yep.
I'm surprised that I didn't lose my iPhone. Last time I went, I had my I was a dumbass and I had the waterproof case with the little, and then we stopped at the first little sandbank and we're just hanging out for 30 minutes and I get in my little kayak and I'm like, oh, there's my case, but where's my phone? And I'm like, oh, it's been in my pocket for 30 minutes while I'm just in the water.
Yep.
Shout out to iPhones. It worked right up.
Oh, very waterproof. They won't say they're waterproof.
Water resistant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to do a fantasy football draft during the one in Austin, and I was like a nervous wreck the entire time because I had to like watch out for the random like dips that get the little slides. Yeah. I was like, right, I gotta make my pick, and then all of a sudden I'm picking up a bunch of speed. I was getting nervous.
You saw the little video I put out. I went in the water with my phone was just like tucked when the guy was drowning. I was like, shit, and I like just tucked my phone in my life jacket and like started paddling, and then bloop.
Speaking of like finding stuff in the water, those are the TikTok video. Another group of TikTok videos that I will always stop on and then I just end up in like a little rabbit hole of them, just to see the shit these people find. Like the ones that are like professionals, they like get flown out to like random island properties, and they'll do it around the property.
Are they like magnet fishers? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you just people that are like
kind of like they have all kinds of equipment. Like they'll go down with magnets or whatever, or they actually dive and will go through this. Like, so if there's an area where there's a ladder, they like just dive down and they'll kind of dig around a little bit, and then they'll start to use their devices or whatever. But it's cool. Sometimes they come up with nothing. Sometimes they come up with like thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Yeah,
I like those.
I'm trying to remember the topics I had.
Well, I had one about, since we've been a couple of weeks, had some interesting topics. Just came in the world.
Have there been?
I think so.
Maybe.
One of the most recent ones that I had to talk about was the direwolves.
what the fuck does that mean?
Well, they brought back an extinct animal.
Well,
Oh, they did?
I don't mean to break your heart.
I know they said it's not like
It's not an actual
I
direwolf.
know, but it's just
Tell me about a direwolf, because I hear direwolf and I just think of like
Game of Thrones.
yeah.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be. Like that's what they're telling people it is, and it looks like one, but like it's really not a direwolf. It's something else. Like that they didn't actually recreate the direwolf, but it's pretty close.
Why do we as humans like to play with fire?
Yeah,
That was
Like this could be dangerous. Let's do it.
yeah. Well, that was kind of where it was leading me to. It's like, would y'all be cool to have a zoo that's just a bunch of like Jurassic Park, where you got a bunch of dinosaurs? Or
I was going to answer before you said Jurassic Park. I was going to say there's literally a movie series about why this is a bad idea.
yeah. Well,
woolly mammoths.
that's the next one. There is a group of people working to bring the woolly mammoth back. Also,
Yeah.
but I watched the Lebitard show, and they have a guy come on. He like runs Zoo Miami basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it every week with them, and they always ask him about like the random animal topics of the week, basically. And they asked him about this, and he was he was mad about it because he's like when they just kind of naturally go extinct, he's like they go extinct for a reason.
Right.
He's like they can't re-release these into the wild.
No.
So it's like
shoe drops.
yeah. So he's like mad on
The new
behalf of
saber-tooth tigers coming out.
yeah. He was like mad on behalf of the animal. Because like the animal's not gonna just get to go live a life in the wild.
It would change the entire ecosystem too. Like other animals may go extinct because you just randomly brought this thing back.
Yeah. He's all for like if animals are starting to go extinct because of humans, he's usually okay with doing what you got to do to help out.
Yeah.
But like when something's already extinct because of natural causes, you shouldn't be bringing them back.
It's like the white rhino. I think the last one just died recently.
R.I.P.
Damn, Whitey.
They try to get them horns, man. R.I.P. I don't know. I'd be down for like certain stuff. I mean, I get that part of it, but it's like in reality, if something gets brought back, it's more than likely going to be kept in captivity, at least until it's enough to, like, you're not just going to have two woolly mammoths be like, all right, have fun. Go to Antarctica.
To be clear, I definitely want to hold one of these direwolves. They're adorable. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I want one.
Yeah.
I would like a direwolf, yes. Thank you very much.
I mean, what's its like temperament? Like, is this thing going to be crazy or is it just?
I don't know. That's so when you bring something back from extinction, does it come back with like the, you know what I'm trying to ask? Like, does it come back with the
characteristics?
the characteristics of a direwolf, or is it just like, hey, it looks like a direwolf, but
It's kind of like a puppy.
yeah, well, it's gonna be raised in captivity. It's not gonna be raised in the wild. So I mean, people raise tigers to be like a puppy all the time until it doesn't, and
Yeah.
you know,
And then you're like, well, it is a tiger.
yeah. It acts like a puppy until it acts like a tiger.
Until I got hungry.
It acts like a direwolf until it's big as fuck and tears you apart.
Yeah, that's not the fun
We've all
part.
seen Game of Thrones. We see what happens when you piss the direwolves off.
Right. That's why I was like, wait a minute. How similar to this actual direwolf are we talking?
Yeah. Could you imagine, like, you just invite somebody over and you got like a direwolf just like chilling on the couch? Like,
Could it fit on the couch?
I don't know.
Things are big.
We had a friend in in college, her boyfriend at the time had threw a party, and he had like one of those half wolf, half dog things, and it was like you walked in the house, and it was just like it didn't even look like a dog. It was just massive. It laid on a recliner. It was so big. Like that was its chair. It was just fully reclined out recliner, and from top of the recliner to the bottom, it took up the whole space.
I've always wanted a dog like that looks like a wolf. Like I want it to be sweet as can be, but I want a dog that looks terrifying, so that I can just walk down the street and
Gives you a great
scare
Dane.
the shit out of people. That's not scary enough.
Have you ever heard of a pit bull?
Yeah, but I feel like people are starting
Get
to
some
get over
chain
the
link
pit bull stigma.
leash.
I think
Yeah,
most people are like, yeah, pit bulls are sweet.
most pit bulls are
Until they're not.
yeah, that's true.
I've had pit bulls my whole life. They've always been sweet. But there's always this small thought in the back of my mind where it's like, man, if he wanted to.
Dude, he could tear me apart.
I've seen him get aggressive with other things.
But honestly, that's most dogs. Like a German Shepherd could tear you to shreds in a second if they wanted to.
Supposedly Rottweilers are like that. It's just like their temperament. Because I've always wanted one, and my wife's like, no, not at all. She's like, just because they're very like protective of the families and stuff like that, but that could also be a bad thing.
I think if my two dogs got pissed off, they could tear somebody apart.
Mm-hmm.
Toulouse is about the only dog I think I've seen that's like, yeah.
She's so dainty.
I
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's like a horse or something.
I imagine I could do the thing where like it's a short person and I could just hold her back like this.
Probably.
Just bark you to death.
There's just certain dogs you see and you're like, there's no way this dog has a mean bone in its body. And Toulouse is one of them.
She does. It's crazy. The most prim and proper dog I've ever had with zero training just somehow happens to be very
just the way she sits. Exactly. Yeah, the way she sits. It's just like so proper.
Yeah. Like, who taught you this?
Yeah.
I got you when you were a puppy and you were dying. Sorry, that was rude. Didn't mean to bring that part up. Toulouse, love you.
Maybe that's what makes her prim and proper.
Good old Toulouse.
Yeah.
I remember the topic. I have an invention I'd like to make.
Okay.
So I don't remember what led me to want this, but I miss being able to hang up on someone and them hearing the phone hang up.
A slam.
Yeah, it does. Just the boop doesn't hit the same. I would like to create an app that when I hit the end call button, it plays the. I want you to know and hear the anger in my hanging up on you. I don't remember. I wish I remembered the conversation I was having on the phone with somebody that made me want to hang up on them. That led to this, but I don't. But it made me miss. It made me miss it. I was like, that's not as satisfying as fighting to find where the phone's got to be hung up and having to hear it. So, yeah, not a long topic. I just really would like to have an app that did that.
Do landlines still do that? Because working in a hotel, that's all we have basically is landlines.
Yeah. Like if you still have like the old office phones where it's like,
yeah, I think the ones where if the speaker is like hanging up, like Granny's got some in her house where it just like sits in a little holder. I don't think that's really going to make the noise.
you got to hit the button on those, right?
Yeah. Well, no, you can hang it in the thing, but it's still like it goes in so smoothly that it doesn't. I was waiting for it. It doesn't make any noise. But like we have some at work where you're like hanging, it does it. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have like angrily hung up some landline phones at the hotel.
It also made me miss. I don't remember what they were called, but remember like if I used to call you, not a ringtone, but when I would call you, you got to pick what song I heard when I called you.
Callback.
Yeah. It made me miss those.
Yeah.
Too.
Mine was Billie Jean for years.
I don't remember what I had. I feel like I always tried to pick something ridiculous to make people listen to.
Y'all remember y'all's first like just general ringtone that wasn't just like a beep, 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 beep.
No.
There was a short time though where that was the thing where it was like you had to have a really cool like song or something as a ringtone. But I don't remember.
Is that like outdated now?
What?
Or do you
ringtones?
I feel like like having an actual song as your ringtone is that like
no, we have gone on conversations on like game chat in the last like year where we're like playing ringtones for each other. Like I'm gonna buy this one.
Well, like I know we like it, but I feel like is it fading out again?
I can tell you what Patty's answer is gonna be. He's gonna be like, you keep your phone on loud so people
you know
can hear.
how I feel. If your phone is on anything other than silent, you're a psychopath.
I got Mac as my ringtone.
Okay. If
But
I
if
heard
it's on
Mac Miller,
silent,
I'd
it's
probably be
the-
like, that guy's cool.
I do it for different ones for different people. So, like, I think for you, it is a Mac song, but I don't know.
There's a lot of people who do that. I'm in the minority because I'm thinking of a lot of people I know that have like random ringtones for
Yeah.
different people too.
But I don't really. But see, I have them for different people. But like, he's never calling me, ever. Like, if he's calling me, then something's wrong. Like, it's like my grandma and my mom are calling me. Courtney doesn't even call me.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's like I don't even know why I have ringtones.
The only people that call me are numbers I don't want to answer.
I did go through
No.
a small phase, very small phase, where I had like a custom text tone, and it was DJ Khaled saying another one. And my God, did that get annoying?
Jeez, I had one too. I had the oh, fuck, that was horrible. The Old Spice, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah.
And I was like, and you get in a group text and you're just like, all right,
And the
you're like,
worst-
turn it off, turn it off.
The worst would be I'd have my phone connected to the car, and it was just like through aux. It was before I had a CarPlay car. And so I'd be driving and a song would come on, and then it would just be DJ Khaled, another one. So that ended that quickly.
Jeez. No, I get annoyed with phones in general. If I hear ringtones, I'm like, why? Shut up.
Mine was my first ringtone was Dead and Gone by Justin Timberlake.
There you go. Good song.
I've been driving on my little LG View, I think. The one that you could pull the antenna and watch like 6 channels on it.
There you go.
Thought I was the shit at the time.
There was so many interesting phones back in the day.
Chocolate,
Mm-hmm. The Sidekick, remember that?
Were phones cooler back in the day than they are now?
razors.
You could have more of a personality by the phone you selected. It was like a thing. It was like, I don't know, I don't want the Razor.
Because
They-
like
It was like car brands in a sense. It's like there was a whole bunch of different ones, and now it's like you either got an iPhone or like a Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
it's like iPhone, Samsung, and Google, and like they all kind of look different, but they really are. They all mostly look the same.
Right. They're all basically the same thing.
The softwares are different, but they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like BlackBerry, Chocolate, Razor, all the like they're totally different phones.
yeah.
And
Like
what they do.
every now and then, like so, like right now, Samsung has their fold. The Google and Samsung have the folding phone. So like that's something different,
Right.
right? Like they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, that's just folds out to become an iPad, which essentially is an iPhone.
Right.
So yeah, it's not as.
It's all very similar.
Yeah.
Big touchscreen.
It was more because
Bunch of apps.
because we've perfected the smartphone. Like the smartphone is perfect. And at the time, they're trying to figure out what's coming, right? So like as you're just kind of figure out what the hell we're going to do next with phones, it's more fun. You get some crazy shit. What was the one like the LG one where it was like a stick, but then it flipped out and it looked like a cross?
I think that was the
What I'm talking
Sidekick.
about.
what
Was
you're
it the
talking about.
Sidekick?
It wasn't
No,
a
the
sidekick.
Sidekick-
I know what you're
the
talking about.
Sidekick
though.
was the one
It was
where it
literally
just,
like a
flipped out and
single
it-
and it looked like
Yeah.
a cross when it flipped
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It made-
But it was
no-
a skinny little.
It was the
phone.
most unpractical or impractical thing ever. But I was like, okay, we're just trying shit now.
That
Cool.
sidekick was slick, man. You just,
Yeah.
It was cool. I just remember
Yeah.
being able to flick it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Sidekick was awesome. Yeah, that was back when like each like phone company had their own phone because the Sidekick was like a T-Mobile thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
only
It,
T-Mobile.
it was like car brands. Like there's so much uniqueness to it. Now it's just like it's either this or this.
Yeah.
Back in the days, that was the days too. You gotta be careful with your phones getting taken because everybody was on SIM cards.
Mm-hmm.
You want this phone? Guess what? Ding, SIM card. It's your phone now.
Yeah.
Now
That was always-
that was an old person moment for me. I think we talked about it. I went and got the new iPhone. I'm like, where did I put the SIM card? He's like, they don't have SIM cards anymore. I'm like, what?
yeah.
I was one of the weird ones that I never had a SIM card because we were with Nextel originally, and then we went to Sprint, and Sprint didn't do that. And then they slowly started to, like in later years. But
Yeah.
now
You had a chirp.
I didn't. My dad did.
Nice.
My dad did. And I
Nice.
was always jealous. I had friends that had it, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, I kind of want the,
Yeah. I was
yo, where you at?
when everybody so like I had the first Apple Watch and it wasn't as popular, right? But like once everybody started getting Apple Watches, it has the walkie-talkie thing.
Mhm.
And I've tried so hard to get people to use the walkie-talkie feature.
I would use it.
I
I'm not
did.
going to lie.
I had it set up on my mom's and Courtney's, and then they just turned it off. But I love just being able to be like, boop, and it hits you up during the day. Like I love that.
Yeah. That was my favorite thing about Nextels in general.
Yeah.
The chirp.
Ugh. The good old days, the golden age of technology back in the day.
That's what they say. The late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Just enough technology.
Just enough. Yeah. Yeah.
When we talked about animals earlier, the raging question that's all over Twitter. I'm sure y'all saw it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
100 men versus one monkey. The ape gorilla. I think it's obviously gorilla, but
Are we gonna be realistic about this, or do we want to just play along and be like, yeah, the gorilla would wax everybody, or the guys are gonna whoop ass?
Yeah. I think it's probably been talked about too much lately for like it would be hilarious to see. I'll say that. But like realistically, like
so
you can overpower a gorilla. You can.
If everybody goes in, you got to go in with the mindset, and there's got to be the first 10 to 15 have to understand this is a kamikaze suicide mission.
You guys are gonna die.
Yeah, like if you got the first 10 or 15 that are willing to accept what's about to happen to them, and then the next 30 or 40 have to see that happen and still be willing to go.
Right.
So if you have everybody with going in with the mindset that this is what's going to happen and we have to just keep going,
right?
You're good. You will win. You will beat the gorilla.
Yeah.
But in a realistic situation, number 2 is going to see number 1 and be like, I'm out. Like, there's nobody that's going to see somebody get torn apart by a gorilla and be like, yeah, I got it. I can be a different maker here.
I'm up next. Nope.
Also, I'm not going to go any number before 90.
Yeah.
I want it at its least strength.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the guy that's strategizing. You get 100 people. I'll tell you what to do.
You got to get his. God damn it! I said get his left arm.
I'm the coach
Shit,
standing outside of the ring.
Spank his ass. Go get him.
Get low.
You got to drive. Keep your head up. The memes are the best part of it. It's like the 99th. He's like went all 99, and I'm the last one, and it's just him being like the gorilla's bitch in his arm, just like rocking back and forth.
Or they've just been replacing him with like one blank versus 100. You know I don't know if you know, but the guy that goes to like all the baseball parks and is like famous for
Zach Hampel or Hampy.
So there was they had one today. It was like one Zach Hampel versus 100 children, and he's like running away with the baseball. It's a bunch of kids coming after him. Or that Hulk Hogan said that if he was leading the pack, that they would defeat the gorillas.
100 Hulk Hogans.
And all the comments were like, when all 99 people turn and leave Hulk Hogan to face the gorilla by himself.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I think people were just, like he said, it was probably entertainment factor too, but it seemed like there was an overwhelming amount of people that didn't think that 100 people could just beat a gorilla.
I don't think they would, because I don't think you're going to get 100 people with the right mindset.
Yeah. They're not gonna continue going after this gorilla when they watch it destroy. Yeah. Like destroy. The first two are fucked.
Yeah.
Like
but if it's a life or death situation, like you can't escape. Either you all die or the gorilla dies. I feel like if it's forced.
Yeah. Maybe.
Unless you just like just become the gorilla's, whatever.
Yeah. Like in the perfect scenario, yes, 100 people will beat a gorilla. But also, I feel like it matters the type of person. Like, are we getting 100 people like us that are like in generally good shape, healthy at a good age? Or are we going to get some people in there that are like 60, 75 years old? Like, they're useless.
Poor Gramps.
Yeah, like
they're being one. They're being the zombie that's left behind.
They're the first 10.
Yeah.
Hey, go tire them out.
You see, this is where the gorilla has
just gets degeared.
This is where the gorilla has the advantage.
Falls halfway.
The humans need everything to be perfect. The gorilla is just there, and he's just gonna start fucking people up.
Oh man!
I mean, how many punches do you think would it take to
punch? Like,
well, I mean, you have no weapons. You have to punch or kick it. You're not gonna, full Nelson this gorilla.
I don't know, man. I think you gotta I don't know what you do. I feel like somebody's got to be punching it. Somebody's got to be kicking it at the same time. Somebody might even have to be biting it. Like, I don't.
It's like the shark thing. You like poking in its eyes or something.
I think the strategy.
Poking in its eyes. Do animals feel nut checks? Like if you kicked a gorilla in the nuts.
Maybe.
Eventually, you could get enough people piled on top of it that it can't move and it would just suffocate. That's how it's going to happen.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, if you just throw enough people at one time, maybe a lot of people don't die. Maybe 10 people don't die. Maybe they get hurt. Just saying.
Yeah.
You just overpower them.
Oh, the real question in this scenario is how many people actually die? And it's at least 15.
Yeah, probably.
least.
That's being generous.
Because like you said, the first 5 are just getting torn
Those are
to
the ones-
shreds.
Especially if they're going one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like that was never even in my brain.
Fucking Rocky. Yeah.
Well, like if the 3 of us are running at a gorilla, let's be real. I'm not running full speed. I'm gonna let one of y'all get there first.
Jesus.
And that's the issue here.
Yeah, I saw one. It was like 3 people, and they're like, "All right, on 3," and then they're like 1, 2, 3, and 2 of them go, and the one's like, "Ooh, oh, I thought you said go."
Yeah, that's what
like,
that would be me. Be like, oh, I thought we meant on go.
Yeah. Shit, well, I ain't going down. Yeah,
I might trip and fall a little bit along the way.
Is it a better strategy to run at it? You think?
Maybe, I don't know.
Definitely not a good idea to sneak attack or like try to sneak up on it.
Could be.
Just drop kick it, hope you get some kind of momentum. What if you get 100 people to drop kick it? Just slowly but surely
Just
falls on his
back.
back.
Maybe.
Well, you see, then the gorilla's he's gonna kill one and then start using that person as a weapon.
It's like I don't know if y'all
Swinging
seen,
it around.
He's just
seen Deadpool versus Wolverine. He's like kills the people and he gets their limbs and their bones and just like destroying them. It would be entertaining. That's for sure.
Oh, man. It would be.
I'd pay.
Yeah, I was gonna say they put it on
Price.
pay-per-view. I'm paying. I'll pay $100 to watch.
I don't think I am. You're gonna see people die.
You see that on Twitter every day if you scroll long enough.
That's true. That's true. I don't go looking for it.
And how do you pick what's the qualification for the gorilla? Do you pick one that's just got anger problems or one's that's maybe it's a nice gorilla and it's not aggressive and it loses fast?
If I'm not in the 100 people, I'm team gorilla. Like I'm pulling for the gorilla.
Yeah. Why are we trying to kill a gorilla?
Yeah. Humans like to overestimate themselves and think we're the shit too often.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're willing to be in the 100, you need to be humbled. That's where I'm at.
Wow.
If you think you can be even a difference maker in beating the gorilla, you need to be humbled.
Yeah.
And that's where
I did have that realization recently. Not that like
You need to be humbled.
sort of. I need to be humbled every day of my life, let's be honest. I was watching a video and it was like a polar bear chasing a man. And I was like, holy shit, like that polar bear does not fear this man at all. Like there are animals in this world that do not care that we are human and they will mess us up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It always randomly pops up in the group chat. Sometimes it's like you had to destroy and kill an animal 1-on-1. Which like what's your peak? Like what's the biggest animal you could take down?
I don't know.
Like a medium-sized dog.
We just talked about how dogs get.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like realistically, like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah.
Because you start getting into like a 100-pound dog, there's a chance that I'm not winning that.
They're probably strong.
Yeah.
Very athletic.
Yeah.
Give me like I don't know. I was gonna say like an ostrich.
Oh.
What? An ostrich?
I feel like that would mess you up.
Because if you think if you decide to turn and start running, you're not outrunning it.
I'm a Boy Scout, not its neck.
How like does it have talons? Claws?
I don't know. All I know is it can run like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah. And they're mean, aren't they?
Maybe a
All
giraffe.
animals are secretly mean.
You think you could get underneath a giraffe and just
No,
Maybe.
Giraffes like can
Might trample
kill
you.
lions with their feet. No thanks. Or their like their little head sweep.
I don't because it's just like a bigger horse.
That's true.
It's gonna kick the shit out of you.
That's true.
Yeah, horses. No thanks.
See, as we're going through these, like
What's the smallest animal you think could defeat you?
Could defeat me.
I'm gonna say like a bobcat.
depends what time of day. Like, what's
Chihuahua.
happening.
A mean chihuahua.
A chihuahua on a bad day. Just come, just fuck you up.
Whatever happened to Yokiro Taco Bell? Chihuahua.
Well, he died. I
Died.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so did the Canes dog, but they still got the Canes mask on.
That's true. They just backfilled.
I don't know. I guess maybe. I feel like they maybe got some bad like little small cats, maybe like a wild cat.
That's what I'm saying, like a bobcat. Bobcat kind of tear me up.
Anything like you said with talons.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
All it takes is one little
An aggressive
one little
ass
swoop.
bird. Aggressive ass bird's gonna. It's over for you unless you just happen to get lucky on like a swipe. Yeah.
I'll mess up a peacock. Specifically the ones at the
zoo.
Audubon Zoo.
They just been chilling.
Yeah, they just got the balls to just walk around.
They're bold for letting the peacocks just walk around like that. Again, one day this peacock might just be having a bad day, and that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, where did they come from? There's no peacock exhibit, is there?
I don't know.
I've only ever seen the peacocks at the zoo just roaming around.
Yeah.
You just let them go.
And I assume they're from the zoo, like owned by the zoo.
Yeah, where do peacocks originate?
Maybe they just saw the zoo was there and they're like,
Yeah.
My people.
It's ours now.
it's where I need to be.
I had another topic. I think I discovered the most useless thing, and it's celebrity endorsements of products.
Yeah.
Because, like, have you ever just been like shopping and been like, you know what? I don't know which one of these shirts I want, but Shaq wears this one, so I'm gonna buy this one. Never.
I've never done that, but I know that it affects people.
Does it?
It does. 100%.
Has it ever affected you, Aaron?
Not for a specific product. Obviously for like the product that, or the brand that the athlete endorses. Like I feel like Tiger's brand and stuff like that. I'm like, I want to wear this because Tiger.
Yeah, I don't.
Is after that. But it's
that's
not really
different.
what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
I
not
guess.
what I'm saying. Because that's kind of goes into like basketball shoes. Like, yeah, I would like some Ant Edwards basketball shoes, but it's not like I'm not buying Adidas because Anthony Edwards told me to. I just like Anthony Edwards and I like his shoes.
Yeah. I guess that's how I was thinking of it though. Like if Shaq wears that shirt and I like Shaq, then I'll be like, oh yeah, like.
Yeah. Like think about you're shopping for car insurance and you're trying to decide between the General and Allstate. Are you going to go with the General because Shaq says it's good?
No, I'm going to go with whoever's cheaper.
Well, which might be the General, to be honest.
There you go.
But it's not because Shaq told you
it has
to.
nothing to do with Shaq. Do not care.
Honestly, it probably works more the other way for me. Like, I'm not buying Hulk Hogan's beer because it's Hulk Hogan's beer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I saw somebody I don't like endorsing it, that's gonna stick with me forever. And I will, maybe I'm like a unique person here, but I will just abandon that product altogether.
I think it's okay. I think that does happen. Like people boycott stuff all the time.
Yeah. Like, you know how long I still don't wear Wrangler jeans.
Well, why would you? Let's be honest. Wrangler's not the best.
Not
Team Levi.
I was
Is Levi
15. I don't know.
Is Levi and Wrangler owned by the same people?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I don't know. These companies, who knows? There's
Yeah.
like a shell company that owns 7 different companies. They all sell the same thing.
I'm buying Old Navy jeans, to be honest.
There you
Or
go.
some Express jeans, depending on the price.
My jeans finally, I had a pair of jeans that I've had for like 5 years, fit perfect. They finally like got a little hole in them and I'm like, shit, now I need new jeans. How do I find another perfect pair?
Not like a hole that you could make look trendy.
No, I'm not into the holy jeans. Maybe a couple of years ago, but yeah.
Holy jeans.
They've been blessed by the Pope.
I don't know. I've never been a big fan of that either. Like just the giant ripped jeans. I'm just like, if I wanted something that was already broken.
Mm-hmm. Broken.
I had some that you couldn't see the knee.
Mm-hmm.
It just was like you could see the threads. I was okay with it. But then I went to put my foot in and it went through the threads and now now I can't wear them anymore.
Back when I was wearing,
don't like them.
when I was wearing jeans like that, I did that a few times. Yeah. It pissed me off.
I don't like them.
No, there was a small rip right in the knee. So, and Victoria was like, it's fine. It's not that bad. And then we were at a parade and like within 5 hours, it was like,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
So can you sew?
A little, but like those you'd have to like patch. You can't really sew that.
Those would be cool. Get you a big old, like the old school patches over the jeans.
Like a little dark patch on the outside of the knee. Let's look like a nerd. Shut up,
Beastie
nerd.
Boys.
You watch Righteous Gemstones?
I did.
I haven't watched the new season yet.
What a show. What a show.
Yeah, I watch anything with Danny McBride in it. Eastbound and Down is like one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah. It's also just that show aside, not even talking about that show specifically. I was at a wedding and one of my buddies randomly mentioned that they were watching it and I was all of a sudden really excited. I was like, oh, you found a show that I also love and now we can talk about it? It's amazing.
That's the best. The worst is on the opposite end though, when someone is watching that same show and they want to talk about it, but you're like 6 episodes behind. And you're like, Just
I've been
wait till
waiting.
you get to this episode.
I've been waiting for him to catch up on Severance for 2 years.
I started watching Severance
From the beginning?
from the beginning.
From season 1?
I
Those are my 2 seasons.
I don't have Apple TV, so I
Okay.
can't watch it anymore, but I want to. And I watched 3 episodes on a plane, and I was like, this is a really good show. And now I'm hooked.
Yeah.
And I can't watch it.
It's legit. It's such a good show. It's such a good show.
I'll give you my login, man.
Be honest. See, but it's tough with Apple to share. You can't just
You
share
can't.
logins on Apple.
You can try, but it kicks you off, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's
Well,
like-
no, it's weird. Like just logging in with an Apple ID it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, it feels icky, too, to share your Apple ID because
Yeah.
you're sharing everything.
Everything. Like you could just log in Apple ID on your iPhone and then you have my iPhone basically.
Yeah.
Nuts. But it's like, yeah, Apple has, which is kind of crazy to say because Apple is essentially a marketing company. But they're so bad at marketing their shows, but they have the best lineup of original shows because they don't do the Netflix things where they're pulling How I Met Your Mother or, whatever onto there. It's just all Apple originals and they're all incredible, all of them, but they don't market it at all. And like Severance is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
It's
And
pretty
like
good.
you only see ads for it like on social media sometimes
Yeah.
or like somebody else talking about it. But they have so many shows on there. Like there's people that have never even heard of Ted Lasso. And it's
that's
an
a
amazing
phenomenal
show. There's so many good shows in there. Like if you bought an Apple membership and just had it for like 3 months and just watched shows, you'd be like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than all the other ones. It's so good.
Yeah. I might just bite the bullet.
That's what I did with Ted Lasso. And then I was like, I'm going to wait till all the Severance is out before I re-up. And then a thing popped up. It was like, come back and join us. And it's $3 for the first 3 months. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other good thing is like all their shows are like 10 episode seasons. So like you can get it for a month and probably get through 3 or 4 shows. Like if you really just sat down
Yeah.
and binged a couple shows.
Yeah. I mean, like I just said, I was on a plane for like 3.5
Yeah.
hours and I watched three, maybe 4 episodes of Severance.
Severance is incredible. It's such a good show.
It's
It's such
really
a
good.
unique like idea for a show.
It's really cool. I didn't know what it, even like through the first episode, really, I didn't really know what it was about.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why I'm watching this. And then I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Took me a minute.
I've had conversations with people where it's like, could you do it? Would you do it?
Oh, I don't know.
My answer was no.
I don't think I could.
I feel like if you don't like your life, if you're not a fan of your actual life, then you do it
Mm.
because you're separating yourself from your life for
Mm.
8 hours a day. I wouldn't want to do that. You're basically forgetting you have a family or anything
Yeah.
for 8 hours a day.
It would just be wild to just like, I assume it would just be like you're sleeping for 8 hours and then just randomly, boop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm
but then
back.
again, like you don't. I guess you don't know that you're
Yeah.
doing it. Really,
That's
I mean,
why
you know you work there and you know you're doing it. Like,
Yeah.
Like you said, you just have eight hours a day that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Nuts. Could you imagine? Imagine you walk in the Walmart and like 2 hours later you come out and have no recollection of ever walking in the Walmart.
There's plenty of people that have that problem. They just black out and go crazy.
That's me when I check my bank account in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck did I do in Target for that made me spend $200?
I'm telling you. Would it be any different than nights of drinking where it's like, how the hell?
True.
First of all, how did I get home? Second of all, did I do anything stupid?
And where's my card?
Yeah. Do I have my card? The only remnants is checking your bank account and seeing all the swipes for
Yeah.
the steakhouse.
You ever had a night out where the next morning you check your bank accounts and you have no swipes, but you don't really remember the night? That's the ideal scenario, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, what did I do?
Man.
Or it's like, what did I do to get free drinks all day?
Dude, I can remember when I was younger. I don't know what it was. I had a close friend of mine that was like a master at this where we would just go out and we wouldn't pay for anything. And we would come home hammered at like 23.
Shout out to Andrew. That's what it used to be like when I would go out with Andrew. Because he just knew everybody.
Yeah.
We never paid for drinks anywhere.
We'd buy like
Anywhere.
one beer.
Yeah.
Or like we'd buy one owner a shot. Like we knew like the owner somewhere. We'd be like, oh, let me buy you a shot. And he'd be like, oh, I got you. And like from there, it's
I'm
like,
telling you,
It's like, yeah, you got it.
when I used to work in the quarter, I felt like I could eat and drink anywhere. Like I just knew people everywhere, and it was so nice.
Yeah.
And like I would buy stuff just because I felt like I should. Like I'd go buy a drink from Andrew's bar, like the first couple, and then eventually he's just giving me 4 and 5, and I've only paid for 2. Or like I'll just sit there and I'm expecting to pay for all 6 drinks I had, and he just charges me for 1.
Yeah.
And like that would happen all throughout the quarter. It was great.
Mm-hmm. My life was like that for a while too.
I would kill for that again.
It was great.
My life be like.
But now, like nowadays, like I wish I could just go to like the coffee shops and just not have to pay anymore. I would trade having to pay for alcohol and not pay for coffee.
I'm choking again.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm good.
he's good.
That actually, you know what? Like the power of moments, just this random little thing. I went to PJ's the other day, and I don't know if the girl was having a good day or what it was, but I ordered my coffee and I pull up to the window and she's like, "Here you go. It's on me." And I'm like, "Cool. Thank you." Can this happen every day?
Were you scared to drink it?
I was a little fearful. I was like,
Why is this free?
Why did she? First of all, it was ready very quick.
Yeah.
And it's
You're going to
free.
be driving and just, oh, wow.
Yeah, I
I'm
went
really tired.
actually. That happened to me not too long ago. I went to Smalls in Slidell, and I pulled up to the window, and they're just like, "It's on us today." I'm like, "Oh,
Thanks.
what a day!" Like that's such a small thing. Like small things that will make your entire day.
So there's psychology to that, like from a marketing perspective, where that will make you a lifelong customer.
Yeah,
Just because
I
that
was-
small moment.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was already a lifelong customer, but yeah, before that, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I will definitely be coming back. Because also, it's like I didn't spend it here this time. I'll just spend it here again next time.
yeah. And it's, if you think about it, like from a business perspective, it's so easy to do. Like some people might be like, "Oh, you're wasting money. You're giving away things for free." That coffee
Right.
might have cost them 50 cents.
Yeah.
Right. And instead, I'm going to keep going there and buying more and more and more.
There's that. Like when CC's was open over here, like when they would know my order just from my voice
Yeah.
in the drive-through, that makes me want to go back
Yeah.
over and over again. Never. They would give it to me for free sometimes, but it never had to be free. Just you knowing me
Mhm.
makes you come back. When you go to Tandem and if they recognize you and your daughter,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
It's good.
You ever did the pay it forward thing?
No. I've paid for other people's stuff, but not like in a, like, are you talking about like, oh, I want to pay for the person behind me?
it's
No.
a dangerous game.
What's like Tim Robinson skit? 55 cheeseburger, 55 cents.
Does it make you like? Does it make you a bad person if you ask how much the person's behind you is beforehand? Because like,
I mean-
if I could, because so you could do the thing where you look and you see one person in the car and you could just assume, oh, they're just getting them a coffee. But if you're making like a run for the office and I'm like,
It's like,
yeah, and listen, an iced coffee is $8 some now. So like, even if they only get 2, like it's $20. I'm not trying to pay it forward that much.
It's like cured on Columbia, man. Like I was telling Victoria the other day, we go in there and we just had lunch, and the bill was like $90
Yeah.
for lunch. I'm like, we could have went to freaking Desi Vegas Steakhouse.
Oh, dude, the days where we'll go there in the morning and get breakfast, a couple coffees, and lunch, and then a coffee to go. I look like when I go back, because it's bad because it's like a couple charges here or there, so you don't really feel it. Whereas
Yeah.
like when you're just getting a bill at a restaurant, I'll look back and it'll be like $70 for just meat. I'm like, what on earth was I?
And you had like a sandwich, some
Yeah,
eggs.
it's not
and
even a
couple
day-
cups of coffee.
The days where I get like a couple espresso martinis, I understand it.
Right.
But when I'm just getting cold brew coffee
Yeah.
and it's like, why?
What's hilarious is I'm sitting here complaining about the price. I'm going
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah.
They can charge me whatever they want.
Exactly. Like there's just some things that are so good, and it's just mind blowing, like how much things cost these days. Like that's really what this conversation is.
Some damn tariffs.
Freaking tariffs on the coffee beans.
I found out the other day the tariffs are affecting my car insurance rate, and that didn't make any sense to me
What?
because apparently you could have to import parts to fix the cars.
Mm.
I was, I shop around for car insurance every however many months, like every normal person.
Right.
And the quote was like $800 more for the 6 months than the previous quote they had given me. I'm like, why? And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, with the tariffs and everything. I'm like, huh?
I didn't even think
What?
of that. It makes sense. Like
Yeah,
if your
it-
car is
Because
made,
you got the Hyundai. So.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask them like on the phone. I was like, okay. And then I looked it up afterwards and I was like, oh, I guess so.
yeah.
Like, mind blowing.
I was actually a little concerned with that because we have a Volkswagen, and in my head I was like, shit, that's
It's already
definitely not
expensive.
made in America.
Yeah.
But coincidentally, it is.
Yeah.
The Atlas itself is like 80% or 90% American made. I was like, oh,
Hyundai's
hell
are-
yeah, bro.
Hyundai's are going to be made in like Ascension or something soon, aren't they? They're building
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hyundai, I guess.
That's cool.
Oh, man. I feel like I had more topics and I don't remember what they were.
I had a thought that I've been holding on to
Yeah.
because it's not a topic. I was walking around the other day, and this might take me a second to get it out, so forgive me in advance. I was walking around the other day, and I guess I have a hot take. My hot take is I think marijuana or weed should be illegal again.
Illegal?
Illegal.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired. Here's why. It's not that like I think if you smoke weed you're a bad person, because I don't. That's not the thought at all. It's not that I'm angry that people smoke weed. It has nothing to do with like
the act of
the
doing
act of
drugs.
it or any of that. I don't even care that it's a drug. What I hate is that now people are so brazen with it. They know they're not going to get in trouble. They don't have to hide the smell anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to walk around Dick's Sporting
I
Goods
get that.
smelling marijuana.
I get that.
Okay, put it in a baby jar like we did when we were 12. Well, not 12, 16, whatever.
Wow.
I'm just saying. It's insane. And I get the thought of like, well, it's legal. Why does it matter? You know what else is legal? Shitting your pants and walking around. Nobody does that.
I get that. You know what? And I will say, like, I think vapes are stupid, but the one thing about vapes is it generally smells good.
Yeah.
Then they dissipate pretty well. Like you're not really.
Yeah.
Someone can smoke a vape for an hour and they walk past you and you're really not gonna
Yeah, you
know
don't
that they
smell
were
it.
smoking it. That weed just sticks on you. Like we talked about before we started recording. We had taken our sons to Chuck E. Cheese, and we're like the second parking spot in the front, and then there's a car in front of us with a family. They got 3 kids, probably a toddler, like 4 or 5, and they're just like it's celebrating the birthday of the toddler, and they're just smoking weed.
Yeah.
Just like, and it's just, we got in our car and could smell it. It was so bad. I'm like,
You're talking about
come on. That's just,
you're talking about walking around stores. I hate when I'm driving on the road
Yeah.
and it just get a whiff of it past me. It
Yeah.
it just stinks. It does. It's the same thing as cigarettes.
Yeah.
I used to hate when people would show up smelling like cigarettes.
I think that's the thing now is that it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
Before it was like, it was rare. Like
Yeah.
you'd smell it and you'd be like, oh, somebody got some good, and you'd make a joke about it. And now it's like every corner you're smelling skunk or something that's even worse. And it's just
It's
like,
just
man.
certain scenarios. Like if you're like out at a bar, like I kind of expect it.
Yeah,
It is
sure.
what it is. But like, yeah, I don't want to be walking around Winn-Dixie
Right.
and smelling it.
Yeah. I'm at the mall. I'm just,
Places I will
I'm
be
out of
with my
business.
children, I don't want to smell it.
Right.
Is what it is really what this is boiling down to.
Yeah. And again, I don't
I'm with
care
you.
that people smoke. Smoke.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I wonder if it's that might be a hot take. I'm not sure. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But I
Yeah.
wonder if that's like a consensus.
Oh,
feeling.
I think it'll ruffle some, especially because people who smoke, they love the smell of weed. So
Yes.
they're not going to be like, oh, yeah. Or some people
you're
may,
not
but-
smoking the good stuff. That's,
Like, yeah, it's definitely just the smell.
do it at your house. Go for it.
Yeah,
Live it up.
because like I
But-
said, I don't mind the smell of vapes because they smell good. I will say I do kind of feel like an old man when I get annoyed when I'm walking around like Dick's or Winn-Dixie and I see somebody just blow a puff of vape smoke. Like it has no effect on me at all. But I'm like, that's just ignorant.
Are you that addicted?
Yeah, I'm
It's
No, I feel like they're trying to do it just to show that they can do it
Yeah.
in the store. Because like, how many times have you been to a place where it's like it's not allowed and they just do it anyway?
Yeah.
a lot
And
of
that's how I
places-
know I'm getting older because I'm like, that's annoying.
It's
Well-
because of what he said, though, where it's like it dissipates quick. It
Yeah.
smells good. It's
Yeah.
not like,
There's a lot of like places that I've seen a lot of workers that are working and just do it and they just hide it in their pocket just because it's a quick and then they can kind of blow it out like inconspicuously and then
yeah. Which
I'm just like, are you-
deeper on the weed thought, maybe take some edibles or get you the little pen. The pen don't smell as
There you
bad.
go.
It's not reeking of weed. You know? I'm just saying. there's things in life we need to.
Fresh baked cookies.
Right.
Then everybody's smelling cookies.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm not standing outside of Dick's Sporting Goods smelling like Bud Light. You know what I mean? That would be kind of rude. It's not a good thing.
Sweat and booze.
People are going to look at you and be like, damn, dude, you smell like alcohol. Not a good thing. That's my hot take for the day.
Yeah.
I like it.
You did have another take on Twitter that I thought would be a fun conversation
What was it?
about being a fan of two teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know my thoughts on that. And I know your thoughts on that because we defer there. But we could. What about you? What do you think about being a fan of two different teams in the same sport? Like, can you like two NFL teams? Can you like two NBA teams, MLB?
I think it's more appropriate at the lower levels. Like if you're a fan of two college teams and they're not necessarily in the same conference, like I feel like that's okay. Like I'm sure you're a Tulane fan as much as you're an LSU fan.
Nope.
You're not?
Nope. I'm a Tulane fan. That's how my sentences are. I am a Bis fan, and then there's no like I like other teams, but
yeah,
I'm
well,
not,
I grew up. My dad's born and raised in Oklahoma, so I grew up an Oklahoma Sooner fan. But then I obviously went to UO and graduated there, so like I always have a heart for the Cajuns, you know. But I feel like that's two totally different things. It's not like I'm an Oklahoma fan and then I'm also a Texas Longhorn fan. You know,
Right.
It's like I feel like if it gets close like that, where you're kind of blurring the lines, then it's a little different. But NFL, like I don't know, I feel like it's very situational. Like
I get it with college.
Like
a little
my
bit,
wife-
like you're saying.
was born and raised out here in New Orleans and grew up a Saints fan. You know, she didn't really pay attention to it, but everybody in her family were Saints fans. And then when we started dating, obviously now she knows more about the Steelers and is a Steeler fan. So she's still kind of like will root for the Saints just because it's been around her whole life, but she's more of a Steelers fan and knows more about the team.
Right.
So I feel like it's kind of situational
The way I justify it, because I have
because you have two MLB.
two sports. Yeah, but see, the way I say it's okay is if you declare if these two teams play,
I do declare.
like if these two teams play, I'm pulling for this team every time over my other team. Then I say it's okay because like if the Rangers and Marlins play in a World Series, I'm pulling for the Rangers 10 out of 10 times. But like if I'm just watching a Marlins game, and like the Rangers and Marlins for me, it's like I'm watching Rangers games as much as I possibly can. The Marlins, I'm like, all right, I'll throw the game on if I'm not doing anything and they're the only thing on. So like the Rangers are by far my favorite MLB team, and I just like the Marlins.
Yeah.
And like the closer one for me is like Miami and Tulane.
Yeah.
But like even then, I'm pulling for Miami. Miami is my team, and they just always have been. And then I just kind of my grandma raised me into like in Tulane.
Yeah.
So like, but that would feels more okay because like you're saying that's not even like the same level of.
No.
It's not. It's almost not even the same sport. Like,
Yeah. Well, with modern college football, it's a little closer.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's different.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now, what about the scenario? Like, I'm a Knights fan, but if New Orleans gets a hockey team, what am I allowed to do in that situation? Because like, I've been a Knights fan literally since day one.
Yeah.
But if New Orleans gets a hockey team and I get to be a New Orleans hockey fan, because I'm a Knights fan because New Orleans doesn't have a team, but I'm not going to abandon the team. Like 3 years from now, if New Orleans gets a team, and I've been a Knights fan for 12 years or so,
Yeah.
like I'm not just going to abandon that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a tough scenario right there.
I think it's kind of fluid. I think it's fair. I was trying to think back to when we got a basketball team because like I was an NBA fan, but I don't know if I liked the Jazz. I liked the Bulls. I just like different teams. I think I just liked players, but I don't know if I was a fan of any of those teams. If that makes sense.
That's how it was with NBA. It was I was a big Steve Nash fan, so I always liked the Suns, and then I was a big Derrick Rose guy. Then I was a Bulls fan, and then obviously moved out here to Louisiana. Obviously, just kind of honed in on the Hornets at the time, now Pels, but
I'm very close to just being an NBA fan. Listen, I'm about to be a Titans fan this year at the rate we're going.
See, so you made a good point, or you said something that I guess resonated with me, like, but I never considered it fandom in a sense. I will watch other teams if I like them, if I enjoy the players on the team, or like I'm just invested in the outcome of the game.
I always like growing up. I was a Saints fan. But like I love the Mannings. So
Mhm.
like I'm pulling for Peyton and Eli every time. Now if the Saints play, I'm pulling for the Saints. Like I'd watch every Peyton, every Colts game or Broncos game, whatever, you know. I also loved Michael Vick. So anytime the Eagles were on, like I had this year, I'm gonna be watching Titans games because I love Cam Ward. So it's like that's just kind of where I'm at. Now, what about this? I have a buddy who Herschel. He's one of the guys. Like, he's about your age, I think, and he's one of those people that grew up in New Orleans but hates the Saints.
Yeah.
Like the Lil Wayne type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's not somebody that has a favorite team, hates the Saints, and will hate on everything the Saints do, but you can't really talk trash to him because he'll pick a favorite player. Like he was a Peyton Manning fan. So he was a Broncos fan. Then once Peyton retires, he just hops to another team.
Yeah.
That's more annoying than somebody who doesn't. Like that. Yeah. That's more annoying than somebody who has two favorite teams.
Yeah.
By far.
So I have a theory about people that I feel like people who hated the Saints growing up just did it to be like an outsider. Like they wanted to be different. Yeah. Congrats, you're different. Yeah. You're a hater. Like
I fully understand growing up in that era when they're just terrible and just being a fan of another team.
But hating them and making it a point. Yeah. Like I get what
going
you're
out
saying.
Of your way.
Making it a point to always be the guy that's trash talking the team.
If he sees this, he'll know what I'm talking about. You've seen him comment on Facebook. Love him to death. Like one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And I just laugh at it because he goes out of his way every time to just make it a point.
And I don't know him clearly, but like I had a friend who was like that, and he would just purposely talk trash about the Saints. And he claims to be a Dolphins fan or Bears, or he would just like bounce around. And I'm like, bro, like at this point, you're just doing it to be a dick. Yeah. And that's not cool. That's the part I don't like.
Right. When I first met him, like I would engage with it. Now I just laugh it off. Like I'm just not even giving you the time of day because I know he's just doing it to troll, basically.
Yeah. I'm
like, all right, man, whatever. But it's the worst because you can't talk trash back. Like if they were like a Cowboys fan now, but hated the Saints, you could at least talk shit about the Cowboys.
Well, the thing is, it's not rooted in logic.
Yeah.
So you can't argue it. It's just, there's just gonna be some other random nonsense thing that gets said, and it's gonna be like, what? That doesn't, no.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
I'm telling you, I've been in the same conversation with people, and I'm like, I don't understand how you think. This doesn't make sense to me.
Right. All right, Aaron, you remember how to close this out?
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Hope you're feeling like Floyd in this Mayweather. Tune in next week. We love you bunches. Have a great time. Until next time. Bye-bye. Kisses.